The former chairman of the NPP present, Mr. Peter Manu present. I want us to get his take on all that is happening. First, starting from what is happening within. He just came in as an elderly man and a statesman as he is. He's seated quietly, watching things unfold gradually. Chairman, are you satisfied with what you are seeing play right before your eyes?
How can I be satisfied with this? Somebody who has been at various coalition centers since 1992, and you want me to compare this to the others I have witnessed and taken part? This is chaotic. Simple. This is chaotic.
And I see you so quiet.
I'm observing.
How do you want them to proceed on this? I know for sure you are privy to the details as to your party members. They briefed you on what it is. How do you want us to proceed?
Listen, in the CI 127, every political party or candidate is supposed to have 2 agents at the coalition center. How many people do you see here, and how many political parties are in the contest?
At this juncture, I can say that the confusion is between NDC and NPP. So you should have 4 party agents, possibly for both parties. And then if EC decides to give privileges to probably security and other people, they should also be allowed in. And here you are yourself. Good. So I've observed that. Now the numbers we see in are more than that. Obviously, it may be some mishap on the part of the security. I mean, that is not to blame them though. That does not put away the fact that we need to leave this coalition center. It's been more than 48 hours.
It can be more than 1 week if the right thing is not done. If the right thing is not done, it can be more than that.
I understand there is going to be a bit of announcement at the moment. I want us to get there to hear what is happening. Chairman, I was having an engagement with you when we went for that declaration. Are you aware they were going to declare the results in the first place?
I'm not.
Your agent signed it.
But we are sitting here. Agent are signing. We are
Me and you are here.
So far, what I have witnessed, maybe I can recount that. Then I may proceed with questions on that. I have seen that the EC officer stated that because 31 pink sheets are in contention, that will be put aside, and then they will proceed on the basis of 110 pink sheets. And on that basis, he has so far recorded over 14,000 for the NPP candidate and did over 15,000 for the NDC candidate. Based on that, he's asked that they sign, and which was done, and they are now he proceeded to declare the election in favor of the NDC candidate.
Because it will depend on the number of outstanding polling stations, the quantum of voters on the roll. If that exceeds the difference, then it cannot be a proper declaration.
They are saying that so the constituency has 141 polling centers. They've collated results from 110, and they say that forms a 2/3 of the entire vote. Now, what would be the issue from your side?
I think you've got it wrong. Okay. We are not in a meeting where you need a 2/3 majority to form a quorum. No, these are number game. Okay, because parliamentary elections in Ghana is first past the post. So even if I beat you by 3, I have won. Okay. So the number of outstanding polling stations, the quantum of votes there, if it's being able to offset the difference, then you can declare the results.
So to understand you clearly, there is that possibility that the 31 pink sheets are in contention right now has the propensity to cause an upset or offset what has been declared now.
Yes, exactly so.
If it happens now that is the case and so becomes true in the near future, do you mind one who contest the declaration?
Of course. But this is no declaration. You declare and leave a quantum. I don't know the specific number of voters on these 31 stations, but if you look at the numbers and you compare with the margin of victory, then you can be assured that it can overturn.
So what did the law say when it indicates that you can proceed on based on a certain percentage?
There is no law.
I mean, the CI you are working with.
It's only when, after you have tallied the results, and there are 13 or 31 polling stations, you collate or tally the voters on that 31 and compare it with the margin. And if the margin exceeds that number, then you know that even if you give the entire 13 to your opponent, he can still not match or overtake you. Yes, that's how it is done everywhere. So you throw in the towel.
But gentlemen, the essence is that you need also to find.
First, introduce yourself to us.
My name is Fred Awari, a chairman of the campaign. Now, the essence is that the 31 polling stations, whose results are in contention, you must actually look at the number of voters in those polling stations and sum them up. If that amount is significant, and when added to any of the contestants, it can tilt the results, then you can declare. But on the other hand, if, let's say, by counting, looking at the 110 polling stations which have been looked at, if one is leading with, let's say, 10,000 votes, and the sum total of the outstanding 31 is, let's say, 8,000, then you can say that, listen, the loser, if he even got all the 8,000, he still will not be able to beat the other gentleman who has 10,000. That's how it works. So you know,
I want to believe at this juncture that since all of you have this position to take,
it's all our position.
yes,
The position of the law.
good. So the EC, what I have witnessed is that is declared the NDC person. So are you going to go to court on
Right. The EC is on the siege. He's being compelled to do it. You know, you heard that if they don't do, they lock the door. NDC is locked the door. They're keeping the keys in their pocket and saying that even the police will not be allowed to go out. The EC officers will not be allowed to go out. All those of us,
You see,
You have a point to make. Introduce yourself first.
my name is Frank Davis. You see, let's just even look at logic and common sense. Now, the declaration that they made, he's supposed to have won.
I promise I will return to you. Frank Davis, I promise I just want to catch that because I'll miss it. I promise I'll come back to you. I came back to you, Chairman. You understand? I came back, so I promise I'll come back. There is something happening at this side that we need to get it addressed. Now let's go back with the conversation with Frank Davis, and he's with the New Patriotic Party, and he's been making some points earlier before we switched to the returning officer.
Yes, once again, I'm saying let's forget about the legal implications and just accede to logic and common sense. Now, after the declaration, the NDC candidate is supposed to have won with between 900 and 1,000 votes. Okay. Now, if the disputed ballots, okay, if the tabulation of the votes there, it comes to focus that the NPP candidate got over 3,000 votes more than the NDC candidate. How do you reconcile? You see, so if there are ballots which are in disputation, there should be a clear agreement between the contending parties what should be done to those ballots. But you can't ignore those ballots. The law is that even if the ballots that are counted in those disputed ballots, if the total will not help the opposing candidate, then you can declare. But if they are in contention, how do you ignore them and declare the results? I mean, what is the fairness in it?
Do you mind taking this issue further?
Oh, definitely. This is an illegal declaration. It is an illegal declaration. I mean, ask yourself, what happens to those votes? These are people who have cast their ballots. It's not that if they are invalid ballots. These are ballots which have been counted. And you want to sidestep them and declare? It never happens.
Now, some of the concerns, I asked the EC person, or I was at a table when I saw that it was demanded of the NPP representative to produce their pink sheets so the collation can be done in all fairness. They say they have it on phone. What happened to their pink sheets?
Listen to me. I'm not here to talk to pink sheets or whatever. The official record is with the EC. It is the EC's record at this stage which matters. If the EC has the records, which is in there, why can't we tabulate?
When you go to court and the court says, where is your pink sheet? How do you answer to that?
When we go to court, we will bring the pink sheets. When we proceed to court, we will bring the pink sheets. But for now, they have the pink sheets. They have the official record, so they should declare what is on their record. Anybody who has a problem will then go to court.
I want to thank you very much for speaking to us. That is Frank Davis, a man with a legal brain with the New Patriotic Party.